When you live in a small town, everyone knows where you've been and what you have done. I've been trying to leave this old town since I...
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I'm Zeta.
And I'm Kelly, and you're listening to
Two Sides and the Truth.
Okay, so we're catching up, and last we left off, it was my birthday on Saturday, which we recorded on, so you kind of got the live version of what happened for my birthday. And then the next day was going to be Dante's birthday. I will say I got the best gifts this year, even after my birthday. I got to work, and someone had at work, Matt, one of my coworkers, he said, "What kind of pie do you like?" I was like, "I like all pie." And he was like, "What kind of pie?" I was like, "Literally all pie. Like buttermilk pie, like pecan pie, like key lime pie.
If it's a pie, I'm going to eat it.
I like chocolate pie, like all pies." And so he was like, "Okay." So then he comes to work one day this week, and he's bought a pie for everybody to share in the branch, and like at a custom bakery shop. And then they sell miniature pie things where you can pick as many miniature pies as you want.
Yeah.
And they make them, and you can so he picked the 4 pies I named. And
I like a man who listens.
You know what? His wife taught him that.
That
I'm going
is
to tell
so
you
good.
how I know this, because he gets surprise breakfast deliveries all the time, like twice a week. Unexpected, doesn't he always get it? But if his wife realizes he didn't eat breakfast, she sends him breakfast.
That's so cute.
It is really cute. And he always gets he's a little younger than I am, but he just gets all happy. Like you can tell, it's
Food
like
is his love language.
It's clearly a love language. And he's one of my favorite coworkers. So he got me the pies. And then I think I mentioned this in the last one, that a lady, one of my customers brought me a gift. And then I got that painting. And it's just like every gift that I got was very thoughtful. Rick got me money for a massage.
That's very thoughtful.
Which is very thoughtful.
Yes.
They were just all, and then you got me gifts, which you're not a gift giver, so that's a big deal,
Yeah.
So I just had a really good birthday.
You were just showered in the gifts.
I was showered with love, which is perfect for this month's topics of love.
It is.
And so, basically, it's going to run into the topic of love, because I was telling Kelly, there's a TikTok, she doesn't do much social media, but there's a TikTok challenge. Hang on. First, tell me you're catching up, and then I'm going to go into this.
Well, I didn't do much. This weekend was nice because it hasn't been very often that I've had a weekend that I didn't have something that I had to do. And this one, the only thing I had planned to do was to record with you. And when I got up, I was just in the I need to clean phase, which doesn't happen very often. But I haven't been able to do a lot around the house because I'd been so busy. And so things just kind of pile up. And then when things pile up, I can't settle. I can't relax when I know I have, things that I could do. And Dante's always like, "It's okay. It's going to be there. It's going to, it's not going anywhere. Don't stress about it." But in my head, I'm like, "Oh, I just want to get it done. Once everything is clean, then I can really relax."
Right.
And so that's why I texted you. I was like, "Hey, can we just put this off? Because I really need to just get back to it day, just get everything good." So it was really nice. I like that I was able to just get in the groove, get caught up on,
Doesn't it feel good
things.
when everything's clean?
Yes, it does.
Especially
and I feel like I
when
just
at the end of the day
sleep
you have
better.
clean sheets.
Yes, and that was another thing is I wanted to wash all the bedding and stuff, and I did. Yeah. And so it was so much better having everything nice and clean. And I did laundry, and of course, when you do laundry, you get to keep all the money that you find. That's my policy.
Mine too. Yeah.
And so, which the last time I found, sometimes I just find coins and stuff. It's really not that much, or maybe a dollar bill or something. The last time I did laundry and found money, it was $100 though. So I figured, that's a lot. Someone's really going to be missing that. I was going to keep it though.
Yeah.
I was still going to keep it, but I didn't know exactly who it was. I didn't know if it was his sons or something like that. And $100 that's a lot of money to a kid. Okay.
Yes,
If it was $1, I keep the dollars.
Oh yeah. If it's a kid, you can't do it.
And so I asked Dante, I was like, did anybody lose some money? And so he asked his kids, and they said no. I said, "Oh, okay, fine. I guess it's mine then." But I gave him back the $100, which he ended up giving it back to me anyways. But still, I was trying to be nice. But this time, I opened up the laundry, and there was a $5 bill on top. I was like, "Oh, nice. That's a good way to start it." And then as I was kept on like getting more laundry out, I found another $1. I was like, even better. And then I found 2 more $5 bills, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so glad I decided to do the laundry today."
That's the laundry tip. I refer to the washing machine in a home as the Raven. 'Cause Ravens likes to go and like pick up gifts for people. I feel like that's just a Raven getting gifts for me.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm
It's
sorry.
very nice. And I'm pretty much, I mean, they occasionally do laundry, like especially if they're specifically
Well, then
needing
they
something.
get the gifts of the Raven.
Yeah, but I've always gone, if there's money left in the laundry, whoever is doing that load of laundry gets that money.
Yeah, it's yours.
So that's why I always make sure I check my pockets before I do my laundry.
Fair.
But I end up getting it back most of the time because I do the laundry. But that was a nice little tidbit. I was like, ooh, I'm going thrift shopping.
I got $21, whatever
I'm
it was.
so excited.
$16. You know what I didn't even think about for the catching up? I almost skipped right over something kind of important. I'm not going to go too much into it because it's not my story to tell, but I will say that I did finally get to see Amy.
Yay.
And I had asked them, and it was a listener's idea, I'm going to put this out there, that I suggested that I offer to help them put their Christmas ornaments away. Yeah, I know. But in this conversation that I had with her, I wanted to have, I decided we needed to do things she hadn't done in Waxahachie. So when I went over there for Christmas and everything, our other friend Amy showed up to go to lunch with her, and I was like, I want to go to lunch with y'all.
I want to go to lunch.
Can I invite myself? I couldn't go that day, but it was dinner that night for them. And I was like, y'all, can I invite myself? And so then on Friday, I invited her, and I was like, would you like to go to lunch with me tomorrow and go somewhere? I know she hadn't gone a lot of places in Waxahachie.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah. So I texted her a few options that I was thinking she probably hadn't been to, and one place I haven't been to. And she was like, I don't think you understand, Zeta. I've not been to anywhere. I've been to like 5 places in Waxahachie ever. Like Al goes to the same places all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so where have you been? Like what? And she was like, nowhere. I've been nowhere. Like literally throw a dart at it. I've not been there. So I was like, okay. So I suggested a few places, and then I started thinking about it, and I was like, have you been to College Street Pub? She was like, no. I was like, well, okay, that's where we have to go.
That's the spot.
And so we went in there and had a good time, had a great visit. So I just want to, I just feel like I have learned a lot from a friend getting sick. We had this conversation yesterday. And again, not my story to tell as far as what all's going on with her. She is very open about it. She will discuss it.
Yeah.
On the other podcast, really. But my story is more about my friendship with her and the fact that I told her I wouldn't get enough information. And it really worried me.
Yeah.
And I know my reaction when I saw her was probably a little upsetting for her because I cried.
Yeah.
And I'm not a crier.
No.
But I was fucking worried, And so we talked about that and, just how she feels about everything in life right now. And had such a good conversation. And I'm just so happy that she is Amy.
Yeah.
Like she's still Amy. Yeah. But also that I needed, Amy and I once a week on Tuesdays get together, or Mondays lately, before all the illness and everything, get together and record the other podcasts. And when we get together, we spend about 20, 30 minutes before we record and about 20, 30 minutes after we record just shooting the shit. Mm-hmm. And we typically spend the first few minutes either catching up on something that one of us is pissed about.
That's important time right there. Okay?
I'm not kidding.
It's important.
And then we record, and then we talk about what the other one is pissed about. So we both get to vent to each other, and that's our relationship. Like we just throw this shit out on the line, and we get to vent, and we just get to get it off our chest, and we usually feel better.
That's good. You need a steam venter,
right? So I've gone like 6 weeks where I didn't get to vent.
Man.
Not all my friends want to be vented to. You got to know who you're talking to.
That's very true.
And so I told her, I was like, I have been about to explode. And so we got to just throw everything out there and have a great conversation. Actually, it was almost all positive. She was so happy.
That's good.
And so I just want to let everybody know she's doing really great. And that's all I can really comment on. Again, it's not my story to tell, but you can tell in my voice how relieved I am.
Yeah.
So,
And I have to say what you brought up the other day about not getting enough information and how you made sure that Rick knew these are the people that you need to talk to if something's happened to me to keep them informed.
Right.
And I had that conversation with Dante too, because I was like, that is a really good thing, because if you don't have the conversation, then the person's like, I don't know if that would be invading her privacy or if she'd really want me to do all this.
Yeah.
And I went even further into, because I have a few things like, I have a few chests and stuff that I have a lot of my personal stuff in, and some of them are like locked or whatever. And so I let him know like where the keys are to that.
Oh yeah. Smart.
And what's in there, and like who I would want him to get that to. Like, God forbid anything had happened, but there's important stuff to me in there, and sentimental things, and like a couple of my journals. And so I wouldn't want just anybody going through that. And so I let him know these are some things that you can let, like Zeta go through, or my sister, maybe not my mom, but
whatever. I mean, it's so true.
Yeah.
And that is what I took from this, is that am I prepared? Are people prepared for me? Are, what would happen? Do they know what I want for myself?
Yeah.
And so it was very scary. I was so worried for her.
Yeah.
Not just should she not survive, but should she survive and be debilitated? That's a conversation as well. And so I'm so relieved it worked out like it did. Oh my God, I'm so relieved. But I'm glad it brought some conversations on, because that's important, because I was having some major fucking anxiety over this bullshit. And I don't know that him telling me more would have made me feel better, to be honest with you. Because it was scary.
Yeah.
But I needed to know. I was losing sleep at night over the situation, obviously. But she's good now. Everything's awesome.
So happy. We love you, Amy.
And we're recording this upcoming week. And after spending 2 times with her, she's ready.
That's good.
She's ready.
I'm happy to hear that.
But we're going to go back on the subject of love. And I watched a TikTok, and the TikTok, not just one TikTok, it's a trend.
Yeah.
And it's where people about my age, people between like maybe 35 to 55, I'm guessing-ish, where they are like, show a picture of yourself when you're 21, and then people show pictures, and it's like, oh, look, and it's cute because they'll be like all 1990s out or 80s out, But I start thinking that whenever I see a picture of me when I'm 21, what I see now is not what I saw then.
Yes, so true.
And when I 21, I really thought I was fat. I thought I was so fat.
I feel the same way. Like, when I see pictures of myself, at the time, I pick myself apart, and it's so horrible. And then when I see pictures from, years and years past, all I see is positive. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was so happy. I love that outfit. Like, and none of those negative thoughts come to me. And I'm like, why was I so hard on myself then? Why was I not good enough for myself then, when obviously I was completely fine? Like, I even wish I could go back to that. Like, why was I mad about that?
Wish, yeah. It's so weird. And so then, I'm old enough now that I've had multiple seasons of my life. So I would consider the first one where you start thinking about what you look like in pictures to be in your teens. There's not a lot of pictures of me in my teens, in the late 80s, early 90s. There just weren't as many cameras lying around.
Yeah,
we didn't have phones.
Wasn't as easy access.
Right. So there's a few pictures, and I look at them, and I can remember thinking I was fat. And the thing is I was 5'10", and I was thicker than other women. But
you had a full-on woman body.
I was a size 6. That's fucked up. Yeah. A size 6, 5'10", and you think you're fat. Like, I wasn't fat.
So that's society, right?
But I was bigger than the other girls because I was built like a woman. Like, I had breasts and I had an ass, And then I went to like a size 8. My leg is a size 8 right now. And I know. And I thought I was fat in a size 8. And then I went to a 10, and I thought I was fat in a size 10. And I thought, and now I would kill to be any of those sizes. But I guarantee in 20 years I'm going to kill to look like what I do right now.
That's so true.
And I look at a picture of me in my mid-30s, which I would consider my prime. I do not consider my 20s my prime. That's my baby making time. I was throwing out babies.
Baby factory.
I look like fucking shit. It was horrible. Pregnancy did not agree with me. I was not like glowing and beautiful. I did not light up a room when I walked into it when I was pregnant. I looked like I had a circus tent under that shirt. And I had big babies, and I had back-to-back babies. So my 30s were my prime, and I look at those pictures, and I remember thinking, some of them I remember thinking I looked pretty good. But some of them I remember thinking, I started growing my self-esteem in my 30s.
Yeah, me too.
And my pictures reflect it. Because you can tell when I was confident, more confident than others. And almost every picture of me in my 30s that I look at that is really good, like the one I really like is always the one I didn't really try for. It's always the one that really looks like me to me. Like it's a good picture. It's a good me, but it's, me to me. And so I stopped posing purposely years ago. Like I'll try to do a little thing here and there. You've had to coach me on some, I'm not photogenic. I'm just not photogenic. And I just kind of gave up trying to be photogenic. I think I'm cuter in person, but not everybody might, I don't know what to tell them.
I don't know what to tell you.
But I just have given up worrying, is the picture perfect? I'm not going to post it. I'm not going to keep it if it's not perfect because my kids don't give a shit when I'm 80 and they want to see a picture of me when I'm 49.
Yeah.
So I do filter it through my kids. If I'm only posting perfect pictures of me, there is a message being sent to others.
Yes. And it's so sad that really that is the norm. And so it's really sad.
Yeah.
Because it's okay not to have
it is okay to look like, you're a little wonky that moment. It
a little crazy hair day.
Who doesn't have a bad picture? The way I see it is if you look at that picture and you're like, oh, Zeta looks this way in this picture. Like that's your problem.
Yeah, that's your problem.
Like you've never taken a bad picture. Like you look perfect in every fucking picture. My thing is, if I'm taking a group picture, I don't care enough to make everybody keep reposing.
Yeah, no,
I like a
Not.
shot.
No, whenever there's a group taking a picture and someone's taking the picture, I hardly even ever ask to see the picture. I'm just like, okay,
exactly.
Let's go.
I will say I'm the least photogenic of the bunch. My friends all are stupid photogenic, and I'm up there looking like I just fell over. At this point, it's part of my charm.
Yeah, it really is.
I can't fight it. It is what it is. When I did modeling when I was younger, it was primarily in a bathing suit in front of a car.
Yeah.
Because I looked better there than I did in a picture, and I don't know what would happen. It was just ridiculous. I'm not photogenic, y'all. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. But I'm going to keep taking pictures. And I'm going to keep being proud of myself exactly with what I look like. Because I still think I'm going to look at a picture of me and think I look great. And there's a picture of me, of my grandmother, my dad's mom, who I really didn't know. She died when I was 6 months old. Everyone says I look like her. Everyone says I'm built like her. I've seen pictures of her. I see the resemblance. The biggest resemblance is our eyes. She has slanted eyes. I have slanted eyes. My eyes are like, there's a word for it. It's not slanted, but it's like there's something about your eyebrow, like, I don't know folded. I have a folded eye. And as you age, it gets worse. And so there's a picture of my grandmother from when she's probably about 45, and it's like a school picture because she was like the head of the English department or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And hers looked just fucking like mine in every picture. And I know she didn't drink or smoke or do anything, so she's not fucked up. That's what she looked like. And that's who I look like.
Call them party eyes.
When I was younger, I didn't have those eyes. But as I've gotten older, my folded eye thing has created it. And I notice it in every picture now. That wasn't a problem in my 20s, okay? Yeah. I didn't have folded eyes in my 20s. They were a little bit, but and that's who I look like. And I remember looking at that picture of her and thinking how beautiful she was.
Aww.
So at some point, I'm going to have a grandkid that didn't know me or a great-grandkid that didn't know me looking at the picture, and they're not going to be thinking, she looks high. They're going to think, oh, she's got eyes like mine.
Yeah.
Or she's beautiful, or whatever the case is. Anyway, so
that right there is a lesson in loving yourself.
It is a lesson,
and it's a hard one to learn, and it's a continuing one because I have to remind myself all of the time to give myself some love and some grace, and you don't. Once again, going on, you don't have to be perfect.
You do not have to be perfect. It's okay.
It is okay. So we are talking about love lessons. That is our topic for today as we're in our month of love. And so there's a lot of different lessons that you learn as you are growing up, life lessons. But we're going to focus a little bit more on the lessons that you learn in relationships. So this can be, friendships or significant others. So my first love lesson has to do with when you are disagreeing. You have a disagreement with the person that you love. How do you go about dealing with that disagreement?
You want the honest truth?
Yeah.
This is bad advice.
I mean, that's literally the podcast. Two sides and the truth.
This is
It's
bad
okay.
advice.
It doesn't have to be good advice. It's just our advice.
I
what
would
we
personally
do.
suggest you don't do this.
Okay.
And ironically enough, I saw a TikTok about this.
Oh my- you and TikTok,
I love
girl, I
fucking
swear.
TikTok, y'all. I fucking loved. You know what it is? I use it when I have a break, like I'm waiting to go into work because I got there early, or I'm killing time before I go back from break, and that's what I watch it. Or I'm bored, which was this morning. And I see one where there is a husband and wife about my age, and they've gotten into a fight, and she has not spoken to him in 3 days.
Wow.
And that's me.
Wow. So you're just like silent treatment.
Yeah, because, you know, I can't shut up. So in my head, I'm torturing you if I don't talk to you. And in his head, it's probably relief.
Bliss.
I don't think it's an effective punishment. It does go to get to him at about hour 12. That's
Yeah.
usually when I start
Yeah.
seeing it start to annoy him. But I'll answer him. When I give you the silent treatment, I will talk to you if you ask me a question.
You're just not going to engage in conversation.
But you are not going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
It is going to be very... Do we
You're
have
going to wish I
pepper?
wasn't talking to you.
Do we have, yeah. And so it's going to be the blandest conversation you've ever heard. I'm so guilty. And so this TikTok, this couple, the husband, they're from somewhere up north. Where'd he say? I want to say Pennsylvania. And he said, basically, the teenage daughters are like, Dad, you got to do something. It's been 3 days now. We need you to get on Mom's good side. And he was like, I know. She didn't talk to me in 3 days. They were like, what'd you do? He's like, I really don't even know what I did.
I don't remember anymore.
And so they're like, we got to figure this out. So they get on the phone and they call her parents, which apparently are like her best friends.
Yeah.
And they call her parents and they're like, and they act like they had already planned a luncheon or something or dinner. And they're like, hey, what time y'all going to be here for the lunch? This is what I'm making. And they're like, oh, there's a lunch? I forgot, I guess. Like, just played them, her parents. Oh, yeah, what do you bring?
So
oh,
smart.
Yeah, and the guy's like, yeah. And they're like, well, what are we supposed to bring? Oh, bring, and looks at the girls, and one of them's like, tell them to bring that salad. And this is their grandparents. Bring that salad. Oh, okay. We'll see you then. Okay. They don't tell Mom. They all show up. This is a rabbit hole, but it does have to do with this because I laughed so hard at this couple. So they show up. And they've got tons of food. Like, Mom showed the fuck up. She has like a tray. She has deviled eggs, okay?
Oh, yes.
Anyone that brings deviled eggs, you know, brought 12 other good things.
Oh, yeah.
And to a Sunday dinner. Like, we're not talking Easter. So she shows up with all her goodies. And they're like, oh, hi. Mom, daughter, you know, that's not talking to people, is upstairs. Has no clue.
That this is even going on.
So the daughter goes out there, Mom, there's a visitor. Who's the visitor? What, who? She comes downstairs, what are y'all doing here? And all that food. What, you didn't invite us? No, I didn't invite y'all. And looks at him, is this your way of getting on my good side? And he was like, I don't know why I'm on your bad side. But I need to get back on the good side. You haven't talked to me in like 3 days. Well, you raised your voice at me and said the F word.
Ooh.
And he was like, well, you don't ever lose your tip. Never mind. That is Rick and I. It was us, because I'm going to get upset and I'm going to shut up and I am going to not talk until I can, because I know I'm going to say something I'm going to regret. Mm-hmm. So I just shut up. I'm just like, because if I talk right now, he's going to die. Yeah. I'm going to go to prison. He's going to die. These kids are going to be orphans. Like, I already know what's going to happen. And that drives him nuts. And so then he'll purposely start trying to find conversations to have with me. So y'all don't take this this does not work. This is not effective. Are we married? No. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
I'd say I tend to, I don't necessarily give the silent treatment, but I don't fight. I'm not a fighter. I'm not an arguer, unless it's just fun, like picking fighting, that's different. But if it's like a serious, like, argument or got mad, I don't like to fight. So I will get silent. I will get quiet. I will get distant, because I'm not going to do that. I don't like being upset. I don't like saying upsetting things. I don't like hearing them. I'm not going to argue or fight with you. So I just won't.
Yeah.
Unless we can like discuss it like very calmly and hear each other's sides, which me and Dante do. Me and Dante haven't had a serious fight yet. We've had some disagreements, and we've had some times that we had to sit down and talk things through, but he does that. Yeah. He doesn't react rudely or badly or get upset. I've never heard him, raise his voice or anything like that. So me and him can have those calm conversations. But unless you can do that, if I'm feeling any kind of animosity or if I'm feeling any kind of bad vibes from you, I'm walking away.
Right.
And we'll discuss it whenever I don't feel that way.
I don't like it. I don't want to fight. But if it gets to the point where we need to fight, we're going to fight. But I don't want to fight. Like, you don't want me to fight you because it means it's like you've gone too far if we get to that point.
Yeah.
Whereas he thinks you need to get it all out and just put it on the table and let's just deal with it, which is probably more effective if he could say it in a lower tone. He's just an aggressive speaker, and I will get mean.
Yeah.
And so that's just how I choose to do it.
What about when it comes to like your girlfriends? I haven't had very many fights with girlfriends. But when it does happen, it either goes one of two ways. Either we handle it, like we have the hashing out session where we just get to the bottom of everything and we ask the hard questions. Usually, sometimes we need a mediator.
I'm only going to do that if I really love you.
Or we're not friends anymore.
Right.
We're not going to hang out anymore. We're going to slowly get further.
It depends on how much I truly care about you and I'm invested in you.
Yeah, that's true.
And
because me and you have had that where we had to have some time away from each other, and then we finally got together and we talked, and we talked as long as we needed to, and we cried and we hashed it out, and we were fine.
I've only done that with maybe 4 or 5 friends in my lifetime.
Yeah.
There's very few friends I would fight for. And I don't mean that mean. It's just typically I give you a lot of grace. Yeah. So it really got to be a big thing.
It does. Like, it takes a lot to get me upset. So if you get me to the point where I'm upset, it's either I'm going to have to put in the work to really get past it, or I'm done. Like, and there's no getting past it.
Last night, so Rick yesterday went to San Saba for the day, just the day. And he went to ride his horses and do a little work on the lease because the horses are out there. So he was gone all day. He wasn't going to be home for dinner. So I decided to make dinner for the kids and I, something he doesn't care for. He's never had it, but he doesn't like lemon stuff. So it's something we really like with lemon in it. So I text Madison, and I'm like, come on over and have dinner with us. This is what I'm making. She was like, yeah, I'll be there. So she gets there. We're talking, this dinner table talk. It's like cabin talk. We're all talking and everything, One of the girls that we no longer hang out with came up, and Madison said, wait, why aren't y'all friends anymore? Y'all aren't friends anymore? Because she even knew her. And I was like, no, we're not friends anymore. Why? And my kids are like, oh, sit down.
About to spill some tea.
And my kids don't know everything. They know ish. And, because this person has kids too. So I have to understand, I don't want to put them under the bus where their kid knows things about them that they shouldn't know. And, so I'm telling Madison, I'm catching her up. And just like every story had another story to it, that had another story to it. And I was like, okay, well, you're caught up on all the drama of all the women that's ever been to the cabin. I said, I just want to say this has all taken place over 5 years. This was not 1 year.
Yeah.
It's about once every year and a half we have a hiccup. And then we have to deal with it.
We established a pattern, and we decided to break it.
Yes, and I think that's what reminded me whenever you said with your friends, because I had this full conversation with her just yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, basically, once you show up and you cause drama, you're gone.
Yep. We're like, sorry, we ain't got
rule.
no room for that.
We ain't got no room.
Because drama will happen. Like, when you have that many women around, it's going to happen. But it's the kind that is like, you can tell it's like almost malicious. Like, like, this isn't healthy. Like,
No, it wasn't
we don't
an
need
accident.
That.
It wasn't They know who they are.
Okay, so next question I have is, what is a regret from past relationships you vow not to repeat?
To not have my own identity, to give up my own identity.
That's a big one. I was that way when I was younger. When it came to a relationship, I was all about that person and was all about pleasing that person, and I would allow them to cut me off from people if they didn't really like my family that much. We didn't go around my family. The family things that we got invited to, I didn't go to because he didn't want to go, and that kind of thing. Yep. And any friends that he didn't really like, I didn't hang out with them very much anymore. Or if they didn't like him, I chose him. And that was the worst. You don't do that. Right. And I couldn't have anything private. I couldn't have any of my own time, any of my own girl time. Like,
same thing.
And that was
same
horrible.
Thing. And I'm guessing this is the boyfriend from high school.
Yeah.
Same.
That was horrible.
My kid's father. That was my boyfriend in high school. And same exact thing.
Yeah.
They alienated me from everyone, and lesson was learned.
Yeah.
And I think he honestly learned a lesson. Because when we divorced and he couldn't fix it and I was done, I truly believe he regretted those decisions.
Yeah. So this feeds really good into this next question, which how do you maintain a healthy balance between your independence and your togetherness in a relationship?
I think it's a work. You have to put work in for that, for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on your personalities. Like you and Dante have the personalities that it just...
Yeah, work and communication.
But y'all are not norm.
No.
And I'm not saying that makes it okay that other people are crazy the opposite direction. I'm just saying you're like the
I
poster
understand.
child.
We're the unicorn in relationships.
Yes. Yesterday I said to Rick, I just love to go off on tangents, but yesterday I said to Rick, after you were texting me saying you couldn't meet me, and I was like, yeah, she's ready to clean, and you know how it is. When you're ready to clean, you're ready to clean. Because I relate to that so much. And he was like, oh, so he waited till he was off. So Dante's off, and I was like, you know Dante's name. Do you remember Dante's name? Yeah, because he's the victim here.
Did Dante have to do any cleaning? No, he did not.
He likes to victimize all men. And so I started laughing. I was like, shut up. Anyways, off that subject. I just had to say that because I laughed. I was really just funny. Like, okay. You're so stupid.
Dante does not need you to go to bat for him.
He does not need you to.
He is fine.
Yeah, he's doing just fine. So y'all work out just fine. Well, now I don't remember the question.
How do you maintain or the balance between being independent and your time together?
I tried really hard at the beginning of Rick and I getting serious to set my boundaries then. And to stick by them.
Yeah, it's a lot easier when it's from the get-go.
Yeah.
You lay it down, just like I laid down, hey, I do not want to have kids.
Yeah.
That can be a deal breaker if people are really looking for the future. I'm like, I do not want to have kids, and I do not want to be even worried about getting married. I don't want you to think about when do I need to propose. No, just don't. Just don't. And those two things can be deal breakers.
They
to people.
are.
So I lay down my independence and how important my girl time is. And it might not be every week, but I'm having a girls' night. And that's something that I need to be on board with.
Well, and he was used to that in the beginning. And I think he liked it in the beginning because I wasn't hounding him. I was, free, whatever. But then he slowly made me his life. And then he was like, wait, why are you always running off with everybody else? Why are you always running off? And I've told him point blank, because I didn't the first marriage, and that's what ended it.
Yeah.
So if you want to keep a healthy relationship, I'll keep healthy relationships with my friends, because at the end of the day, I'm going to need them. And, he is understanding that. He doesn't give me a hard time about that. He's old school about some things. He is weird about some things. He doesn't know women like me. Like, there's not women in his family like me.
Yeah, so he has nothing to compare it to.
There's no one like, and my whole family's just like me. So, whereas to me, this is normal.
Yeah.
My mom was this way. My cousins are this way. My grandmother was this way. This is us. We're social fucking people. That is not the women in Rick's family. The men in Rick's family are social, and he's not. But, they all, would run together and hang together and party together and do all that kind of stuff. The women know you stayed home. You took care of the kids. That's his background.
Yeah.
I get where I'm a little different for him. He does really try to adjust to it. He has his own way with it. He likes it. I think he does like that about me.
Yeah.
I do think he likes to fuck with me about it, but he does like it. But he does tell me it's weird.
Yeah.
You love your friends a lot. Yes, I do.
And I also try to encourage him to make sure that he is keeping those connections too, which he's really good about.
Yeah.
If he knows that if I let him know, hey, I'm having a girls' night, he'll go and hang out with one of his friends or something like that. And I let him. And even if I'm there, there's been times that I canceled. The girl night was canceled at the last minute, and I'm going home, and so I let him know, hey, I'm headed home. Change plans.
But keep your plans.
Yeah, but he was already at his going over there. I was like, okay, cool, awesome. I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah.
I didn't, and I do the same thing he does for me. I didn't ask him where he was at. I didn't ask him whose friend's house he was going to. I didn't ask him what they were going to do or when he was going to be home. As soon as he told me, oh, well, I came over to my friend's house. Oh, okay, no problem. I'll see you when you get home. Love you. Bye.
Whereas Rick has, no, he didn't want to, he wants, when his free time is hunting and fishing by himself.
That's good.
And that's what he wants to do. And I tell him, you enjoy your own company and I enjoy the company of my friends.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry you don't like people. I don't know what to tell you. But really what it is, all his best friends were old men and they've all died. He loves old men and they've all died.
Same.
I know you do. That's true. So I'm like, that's not my fault. All your friends died. Get some friends your age, dude.
Poor guy.
I know. Bless his heart. We're praying for you, Rick.
We are all the time. All right. So and I wanted to put this in there as well. So not just from the relationship aspect, but friendship, because it goes both ways. Your friendships and your friends have to respect your relationship time as well. Because I've had it the other way where I had friends that were like, well, you spend too much time with your boyfriend or da-da-da-da. When am I? And I understand that aspect of it too, but your friends can't be toxic either. Because friends can get too attached to friends and make their friends their whole life and not understand the importance of the balance of spending time with family or spending time with your significant other.
Well, that's why I feel like people should have more than one best friend.
Oh, that's so true. It's so true.
Because when you do, you give them a chance to go do their own thing, and whether it be hang out with their significant other or hang out with their other friends. Like Mary doesn't have a significant other right now. So when we're not together or whatever, she's got 4 or 5 other really good friends she can hang out with. So she's not lonely. It's not on me to entertain her, and same goes with you.
Yeah.
And I feel like but I think that comes with maturity.
Yes, it does.
As
a lesson you got to learn.
And self-esteem, because you don't worry like, oh, she's not my friend anymore. Yeah. Like, bitch, you can have a bunch of friends.
I try to have as many as I can.
Yeah. And I hope they all like each other, but they don't. It's cool too.
Yeah. I like to try and co-mingle my friends because I have different friend groups. And so I like to co-mingle as much as I can. But at the same time, there's a reason that they're separate. And I think that sometimes it helps to keep them separate because, like you said, sometimes I'm not going to hang out with certain people, or I can't hang out with certain people, or I'm doing something with somebody else. And that has to be okay. Like they have to understand. It can't be like harboring any kind of insecurities or jealousy. Even if you do, you have to realize, oh, I'm being a little bit jealous right now. I need to get over this.
Yeah.
I've had to do that. There's been times where I felt left out, or I felt like I wasn't included. Yeah. And that's okay. It's okay. You can just, get happy in the pants that you got sad in. Yeah. And realize that it's going to be all right.
Big girl panties on.
That was good. So what are your long-term relationship goals? So something, and it doesn't have to be a lot of things, just something that you have as a long-term goal in your relationship.
I just want to be happy in it.
I just hit my microphone. I just punched it.
I saw that. I just want to be happy in it. I don't want to ever feel like I'm there because I have to be there. I want it to feel like I'm there because I should be there. Like, it makes me happy to be there.
Yes. That's a big one for me because there's been times in relationships in the past where I felt like they're just comfortable with me, or maybe like I make their at-home life easier because I'm doing the at-home things. And so I'm just like a little wife to them and taking care of the things that need to be taken care of. And they're just with me because they've been with me for so long, and it's easier just to stay, but they don't really want to. Right. And I don't like feeling like I'm like an obligation. Like, I like being an obligation, like, because I should be a priority and an obligation, but I don't want you to just be with me because it's easier than breaking up with me and figuring out separation.
It's
and
convenient.
like that. Yeah, I don't want to be a convenience. I want to be somebody that you truly care about, truly like want to be with, who you're thinking about me, maybe not all day, but you actually think about me and think about future with me and want me to be in your life. And I add value to your life.
Well, I feel like I want to be their best friend. And I mean, I'm going to have my girl best friends, but I think that's different than having your significant other your best friend. And that's I think true. You can date someone for a long time and them not be your best friend.
Yeah, it's so true.
And I think that it's really important that you be able to, have body language. I can read your body language. I can read, and not just because I'm worried you're mad. I'm telling, like, I can tell you're hungry. You're uncomfortable. What's going on? Yeah. Like, you're sad. Like, I can just read you, not because you're manipulating me with your body language. Those are two different things. But you just be able to have inside jokes. You just be comfortable around them. And I didn't have, my ex-husband and I had a really funny relationship in the regards that I really was really comfortable around him because I'd known him so long that he was just kind of what I knew. But now I look back at all the rules I gave myself and I wasn't comfortable. I thought I was. I thought we were really in tune. And then I look back and I was like, no, I was just on guard at all times and I couldn't relax and be myself. So now I look at it and that's my goal now is can I get home and just shed off whatever and I can be myself. I can say whatever I want to say. I can.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like right now, for this question, I'm like living this right now.
Right.
Because it's your relationship goals. I feel like I'm in my relationship goals.
Yeah.
Like what they had been like my whole life, like thinking of like this
What you were looking
perfect
for.
guy and the perfect situation for me. And I feel like I'm in my relationship
That's
goals
good.
right now. And that feels really good.
Yeah, I don't know that I knew enough about my goals to say I'm in it, but I'm not out of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm happy. That's my
good.
goal. I just want to wake up every day happy.
That's good. I go to sleep at night excited for the next day, and I wake up happy in the situation I'm in.
Right.
And that's enough.
That
right
is
there.
big. That is big because I have woken up unhappy every day before. So
Oh, and so as a friendship aspect, my friendship goals, one of the things I really want to do, like I know that we do our cabin weekends and stuff like that, but I really want to do like a girls trip. Like that's like not
Something
not
different.
in the state. Like,
Oh.
you know, like going to a beach somewhere, or beach
Yeah.
house somewhere, or like going to where we all like do the like getting
I
together.
suggest no.
Okay, like getting together, getting on a plane together, or doing a road trip together, like
I want-
destination kind of girl trip.
I've been craving like a snow cabin. I've been craving it.
That would be fun.
I want it.
Cabin in the Woods.
Yes, I'm
That's
craving
a
it.
scary horror movie, but
It's okay. I pack. I got this.
hopefully we don't all die.
No.
That's another goal. Relationship goal, don't
No,
die.
I'll be packing. We'll be all right.
Okay.
We'll be all right.
All right. What do you consider a deal breaker? This is pretty across the board for most women, but sometimes not. So
I mean, there's a few racist and sexist. That's
oh man, I hate being talked down to.
yeah.
Do not like that. And of course, the big one for me is infidelity, which it hasn't been
Yeah.
in the past. In the past, I have been in relationships that I was cheated on and I stayed. And that was so stupid. That was such a stupid move because it is so true. If they cheat on you, they will do it again.
Yeah.
Like that is so true. And I don't even want to be with somebody who has the capability to do that. You know, like
Well, and the problem is that after it happens, it's really hard to look at the person
Yeah.
and not see it.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
if you do stay, you're constantly thinking about what they're thinking about or what they're doing
right.
or are they going to do it again or are they lying or what are they keeping?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's not a good situation.
Yeah, infidelity always. I just thought that was a self-explanatory.
Well,
one.
but
I
you would
would
think, but
you
there are a lot
would.
of people who stay with people after they have
Yeah.
cheated on them. And I can understand the mindset because I've
Right.
been there and I've done it. And it's sinking sand. But as much as you know that you're in it.
It is typically though. I find that when that happens, there's a world of manipulation. It's not like somebody's just like, okay, you cheated on me, I'm going to stick with you. Typically associated with this is someone who has fucked with somebody's head already,
Yeah.
leading up to it, or until you found out. It's probably happening the whole time. But I just find that most of the time that is associated with the type of person that person is. Like, you know, not always. There are exceptions. But I do think most of the time when you stay with them, you're like, okay, well, there's a lot of other shit they fucked with your head
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, it's very true.
Before you got to that. Like normal, you wouldn't put up with it, but you put up with it because they have fucked with your head for a year prior to it. So that's
Very
my
true.
personal opinion.
Or they're scared of losing face. Like, say like they're engaged or they've gotten to the point where like they feel like they can't back out of it because
Right.
they don't want the humiliation that
Right.
goes along with admitting that. So you want to sweep it under the rug so nobody knows that it happened.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. It can be it's a messy spot to be in.
Well, I pray for you if you're in that situation.
Right.
It's not a good one.
It's no fun.
What about deal breakers when it comes to friendships? Mine are dishonesty and manipulation.
I don't like when you have somebody that talks negative about your other friends. I always assume you're talking negative about me too.
That's true.
Like, it's one thing to have a conversation about something you're worried about. Like,
Yes.
you should be able to have a conversation with your other friend and be like, I'm kind of worried about her. What do you think?
Or if something went down and you're like, hey, I
gotta talk about
some
this.
help or some advice.
Right.
That's
and there's
different.
another thing to be like, did you see what that bitch was wearing? She getting fat? Did she lose too much weight? Is she doing drugs? Or is she, like, there's just... I just think that I love women, but not all women are built the same.
No, because there are lots of women out there who do not like women.
Yeah.
And, or some that,
See them all as competition.
Yeah. Or they manipulate and they act like they're for women, but they're really not. They're just trying to better themselves and make themselves look better.
Yeah.
But they're really not about
So if
women.
you want to sit down and talk to me and you have a legit conversation, that's okay. But if you want to have a conversation where you're talking negative about somebody,
or all you want to do is gossip about that person.
yeah, then I'm gonna assume you're doing the same thing about me, and I'm gonna check out.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah, and mine is any kind of lying. If you're lying about things, or just not being honest, or lying to other people, and like stories don't it up, or if you're manipulative with your feelings, or you're just a taker and you're not a giver.
You never
backer.
contributed. Yeah, that's all true. Amen.
Or if you go after my man,
Yeah, well,
you better watch out.
then we're gonna find some black eyed peas.
Yeah, if I can't feel comfortable with you around my significant other,
That's a big one.
yeah.
If I
No,
can't trust
sorry.
you around my friend,
Yeah.
my male friend, my
Yeah.
significant other, then no, we're not friends. Yeah. Nope.
So those are all my questions for today.
All right, well, those are good ones.
Well, thanks.
I think that something ish on the same subject, also current events subject is, and I know you know nothing about this because you don't follow social media.
Well,
But
educate me.
That's what I'm here for. I think it's so reversed in our friendship that I'm the one that keeps up with this stuff.
I know that is kind of funny to me too.
It is funny to me too. I get bored. Okay, I don't watch TV.
You would think the younger one would be the one that was all about the social media
and
stuff.
TikTok and no. So we're going to talk about Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not a Swiftie. I wouldn't call myself a Swiftie, but I will say that
I wouldn't either, but I'm a fan.
I think she's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I'm a Swiftie because I really can't sing you anything she sings. I mean, I could sing along to us on the radio, but I couldn't, like right now, think of one thing. But every time I listen to her, I'm like, that's fucking badass. Like, she can write. Like, that's clever. With this whole thing with her boyfriend's team going to the Super Bowl, and they keep showing her in the box, and they're making it about her, and they're making it about her. So then all these men are just talking shit. Mm-hmm. And they're like, man, we don't want to see you. We don't want to see you. We hate you.
Yeah.
Well, she's not the cameraman.
Exactly. Do you think that she's telling them, okay, pan to me now?
Yes.
Give me my
They are panning to her because she helps the ratings.
Yeah, she sure does.
Whether you like it or not, a bunch of new football fans have emerged because they're watching for her. I'm sorry that intimidates some men and that their dicks are so small they can't deal with a strong woman. And it's just so gross to watch. But what I want to say about that, where it ties to love, is the fact I saw a time where this guy was talking about it, and he was like, I have daughters, and if I am talking shit about Taylor Swift, this and she's too, her opinion counts too much. She's this, she's that. Why are they showing her? Blah, blah. I am sending a message to my daughters loud and clear what I think about powerful women. Mm-hmm. And I am blaming her for things that are not her fault and that are my problem. Mm-hmm. And maybe the NFL's problem. I don't know. But I am blaming her because she's the easy scapegoat.
Yep.
And I think people need to pay attention to that, and women included, because women do it too. And they will tear down another woman. Your daughter's watching.
Yep.
And, there are times when I look at myself in the mirror and I don't love what I'm seeing, but my daughter's watching. So I'm going to look for what I do love.
No.
And it goes the same with other women. And I've really pushed that on my children about strong women, and they were raised by a single woman. But remember, your daughters are watching. And you know who else is watching? Your sons. And what are you teaching your sons? Do you want them to have happy marriages? Are you setting them up to be a dick and their wife be miserable? Do you want there to be a podcast about what a dumb motherfucker he was that day? So I'm just being honest. Like, y'all need to remember that your children are watching you when you do that. And Taylor Swift is just an example. But I think it happens a lot when women become important or when they become an expert. Just like whenever the first woman was a sports newscaster. I remember. I was alive. I remember them giving her hell. No woman could know enough about football. What?
I know. It's sad.
Do you think every sportscaster you see played football? Like, it's so stupid.
Yeah, I know. That's one of the reasons that I am very disconnected when it comes to social media.
Right.
Not that those things don't happen everywhere, but it gets so shoved in your face on social media, and you can't really
disconnect.
And you can't vet through what you see. Like, things just come up.
But the thing is, our kids are watching it.
I know.
And so that's
sad.
why it's like you've got to have other adult voices going, hey,
yeah, this isn't right.
This is not cool just because adults are saying it. And just because it's your dad.
You don't have to agree with it.
You don't have to agree with it.
You don't have to go along with it. You don't have to mirror that in any way.
You can be like Madison telling Rick he's gaslighting her. Hell yeah. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to put that out there. That was my take on the whole situation, is that you need to think you're not just attacking some famous billionaire who's extraordinarily smart and talented. You are also talking shit about a fellow woman.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just crazy to me.
It is. It's crazy to me too.
So what else we got on love?
Live and you learn.
Anything else we want to discuss about love on this topic?
I think we're good. We have lots of other subjects of love, but those will be coming up.
Okay,
So
y'all get ready.
Oh, and once again, let's go ahead and put out our social media and stuff, because we have.
Oh yeah, we kind of suck at that.
We really do. Talking about social media reminded me though. So if you want to get a hold of us, I run our Instagram page. That is Two Sides in the Truth on Instagram. I'm also in charge of our email. So if you'd like to email us, if you have a story on love, any questions or discussions that you would like us to cover, you can shoot me an email. And the email is twosidesinthetruthpodcast@outlook.com.
We also got we had somebody comment on our comments on Apple, I guess. That's
So like our review.
Review.
Got a
That's
review.
the word I was
We haven't
looking
had a
for.
new review in a while.
We've
This
not.
makes me happy.
We haven't really pushed for it.
That's true too. But if you send us a review, we will read it, even if it's a bad one. We've had our bad ones before.
We will laugh at you.
we will.
We will make fun of you, but we will read it. Okay, so this one was actually an extra special one, and this was Mr. Guliff. I don't know.
I'm horrible with reading the names too. It's
They like to
okay.
make shit up. You just made that shit up, didn't you, mister? You just made that shit
We're
up.
just gonna call you Mister.
Watch it be a Mrs. I don't know. Anyways, and it said, welcome home and thank you. And it said, I love this podcast and these ladies. I just listened to the welcome home episode with Terry. What an amazing man. Terry, thank you for sharing your story and thank you for your service. And I'm very humbled and honored to say welcome home. We appreciate you.
Aw, thank you.
I know.
That was so sweet. I love that.
That was like my
one.
I just was like, hell yeah. And I actually saw Terry and forgot to say something to him about it.
Oh,
But
gosh darn.
I will definitely make sure Terry sees it. And so, yay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Terry.
Yes, thank
for being
you so
awesome.
much.
And thank you, listener, Mr. Globloop, whatever your name is.
You know who you are.
You know who you are. We know who you are.
Oh, and drop the Facebook.
Oh, yeah. And so on Facebook, it is Two Sides in the Truth. And I am Zeta Owens on Facebook. And I am Z Mamacita on Instagram.
And on Instagram, I am Kelly Lady Pearl. So if you'd like to follow me, I don't do much, but
Yes. Or you can message us. Or if you have an idea, we're always looking for entertaining guests and people that have a story to tell.
yeah.
And
So let us know if you'd like to be on.
Yeah. If you feel comfortable coming on and you got something you want to talk about, we'll do it.
Faux show.
Faux show. And we'll talk to y'all later. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for joining us. Maybe come back next week and bring a friend.
Yeah. And remember, there's always 3 sides to every story.
Two sides and the truth.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.